Hello ladies, I have a very intense and high caliber discussion for us. If there are any gentlemen who wish to join us, I invite you to do two things. First of all, hold space for us because this is not an easy discussion. If you don't resonate, instead of commenting some, not constructive things below this video, simply turn away and go towards things that you like. And should you want to really listen and feel into what I'm saying here, I invite you, gentlemen, to listen with your headphones, so not look at this, but just listen to what I'm saying. Okay? I know the image of a woman can somehow alter the stuff that she's saying, so that's why I'm inviting you to just listen here, if you wish to. Hi, this is Liana, Holistic Intimacy Coach. Welcome back to my channel. Here, I help you get your orgasmic intimacy. Before I get into this discussion, I want to remind you that I have a very powerful tool, and this one is the most accessible, the Get Your Orgasmic Intimacy coaching book, which has a lot of valuable, high caliber or heavy caliber explanations, experiments, questions, and exercises, stories shared from coaching sessions, so a lot of value that you can take without going for a very intense coaching process. This one is the most accessible tool to work with me. Consider taking this and also using it. Alright, ladies, I have essentially for us 8 ways in which we turn off men. There's a bonus. Before I get into all of that, I need to tell you which are the men that I'm addressing in this video. The way I see it, with a lot of personal growth work being put out there, there are 2 kinds of men. The individuated man and the not individuated man. Individuation, I mean taking time to work on yourself, work on your issues, work on your, in this case, masculinity, work on the mission that you have in this life or on this planet. And yes, for the men and also for the masculine in each and every single one of us, our mission, our sense of higher purpose and contribution to society is crucial, vital, and in the case of men, it is linked to their sexual potency. Believe it or not, this is how it actually goes. I'm going to refer to the individuated man. The not individuated man will not resonate because, and I quote, men want young, inexperienced, coachable women who are more fertile and can follow instructions, as opposed to older, less fertile, less cooperative, higher body count broads with more demands and expectations. A quick note here. People who don't understand or fear the power, inner power of others will demonize it, will throw shit at it, and people who don't understand true self-worth will think that others are having higher demands and expectations, and they are less cooperative and so on. Filtering out stuff that you don't like isn't the same as being less cooperative. And the part about coachable women who follow instructions, yeah, not individuated men will look for exactly as this guy phrased it. I'm not referring to these men. These men are turned off exactly by what this guy said here. The individuated men, the ones that worked on themselves, actually are turned off by different things. So number 0, this one is going to be plain and simple. Men are turned off by women who disrespect and or do not believe in them, in their true essence as men, in the mission that they have on this planet, in the stuff that they want to achieve in their lives, in their capacity to grow and outgrow whatever place they are in right now, whether it takes them a month, a year, 10 years, women who don't believe in them, well, they are turned off by that. Now let's get into the 8 things that I actually have for you today. This one was just a bonus. Number 1, she lacks sex esteem. Sex esteem is a very sexy way for me to say sexual self-esteem. To the essence, because this can be translated in so many other ways, but to the essence, this is a woman that isn't capable to hold her boundaries in a way that is respectful to her and also to her partner or partners, depending on the situation. And or this is a woman who is not able to hold her boundaries before it's too late. A woman that is a turnoff is somebody that already senses there's trouble, but she doesn't speak in the moment that she sensed trouble. Believe it or not, when men are in love or in a relationship with a woman, they can feel her. Quote unquote feel, quote unquote smell, whatever other sense you want to use here. I'm talking figuratively. The second this woman feels that it's not okay, they will feel it too. If she doesn't speak up in that moment, in a way that is respectful, okay? You don't have to be a bitch to speak up. You can be a very integrated, beautiful, attractive woman and speak up. Hey, I respect everybody here, or I love you, I trust you. Something feels off here and I need to tell you. Please hear me out. I'm talking about this. In intimacy, what this looks like, well, they've gone down an exploration path and she already feels cut off from her pleasure because something's not right. But she doesn't say it. In the second that this happens, he feels it. Trust me, he feels it. Especially in those moments. If men have a heightened sixth sense, that is about sex. Okay, women, intuition. Okay, guys, it's with their instinct and sexuality. That is their sixth sense. I'm not sure if you've ever thought about this, but please keep this in mind. So they're turned off by that. So she knows something's off, she doesn't speak up, lets things get even worse. And when it's too late, they do speak up, but it's too late a bit. Number 2, not knowing herself sexually. And I'm talking about women who don't know what works for them, especially in moments of slight challenge or even higher challenge. When things are good, it is easy to be a self-empowered woman. When things aren't so easy, and they can also feel it, well, a woman who doesn't know what will get her out of that place, that is a turnoff. Why? Because it puts a whole lot more pressure on them, because they have to hold their own, and then they have to hold their partners or their women's own. That, it doesn't help them. In the long run, that's a turnoff. Not because they are or might be ill-intended or just lazy. No, it means that she's putting on double pressure on them. The situation's a bit challenging and they have to handle it, but she's also challenging and not holding her own. Okay, she's not a partner in that moment. She is not knowing herself sexually. Also here is somebody who's not able to give any hints or slight guidance as regards or with regards to her body. Okay, what works and what doesn't work. I know many people want or are thinking that a woman should be, less experienced and all of that, but an individuated man is actually turned off by somebody who doesn't really know herself. Number 3, not being involved enough in the action. So this turnoff is about a woman who is way too passive or completely passive, never taking initiative, so not being involved enough in the action. Number 4, little to no spirit of adventure. Yes, we're talking intimacy. Yes, this is a turnoff. I'm not talking about taking crazy, wild, extremely reckless risks here. I'm not talking about that. Please remember, number one, sex esteem with the ability to hold your boundaries and do that before it's too late. I'm talking about a woman here who is not inclined to explore at all or just way too little. Okay? Routine and just letting other things take over will kind of ruin the fun of it in the long term. So they want a woman that is their partner in crime, quote unquote crime, sex crime. Okay? A little bit of Bonnie and Clyde, but just in the sexy, kinky, completely respectful to life and, all that. That's what I'm talking about. Number 5. A woman is a turnoff when she's not owning her shit in intimacy. So her shortcomings in intimacy, those are stuff that she hasn't solved. Maybe some emotional charges around various practices or around her willingness to explore and so on. So I'm not talking about how she expresses, okay? I'm not talking about comparing because maybe she's not so vocal when she has an orgasm, or she can't have multiple orgasms or stuff like that. I'm not talking about those things. I'm talking about the stuff that she hasn't processed mentally or emotionally. So maybe she's closed-minded. Maybe she's got these negative beliefs around intimacy, and sometimes even without having an actual experience, just because she picked up from somewhere else. I'm not talking about destructive things or rape or stuff like that. Of course, you're not going to have a positive belief around rape. Of course, you're not going to have a positive belief around forcing somebody to do things that are against their own wiring. Okay, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about you having had various stuff in the past that wasn't okay, and you didn't work them out. And now what you're doing in your present relationship with this man, you're projecting or you're bringing unsolved fears or unsolved stuff from the past and not allowing this relationship to explore or to grow. An individuated man will not push you to do things that you know are a definite no. That is one thing. But at the same time, he will know or feel when you haven't processed pissed off stuff or upsets, or you haven't gotten over your previous partners, and so on. So you're not fully present, basically. And your wounds, that's what they are. They are wounds. They are not boundaries. A man, an individuated man, will be turned off by somebody who carries wounds and is reluctant to work on them or heal them, as opposed to somebody who's just carrying boundaries because she knows, she's explored, she knows it doesn't work. So, holding your boundaries with respect to yourself and that, your partner, a turn on for an individuated man. Stuff that are not healed and you're unwilling to heal, sadly, though they won't judge your wound, is still a turn off to somebody who's individuated. A turn off doesn't mean they don't understand and appreciate and they aren't sensitive to your stuff. Okay? Two different things. Please understand. And one thing that I need to say here is that suffering, and I was told this when I was going through my sexual abuse, which was more psychological and emotional. I had a woman around me back then who told me this: though I can feel your pain and I can understand it, please hear me out. Suffering is not attractive. She was encouraging me to move on, but she was encouraging me to first move on, as in heal my hurts and heal or focus on healing my suffering, because there was no way I could attract a high quality man, individuated man, powerful man, when I was in that place of suffering. Men will have sympathy and they will feel for you and they can protect you, because this is what they do. They do protect women, but they're not attracted to suffering. They can't be. They shouldn't be attracted to suffering, if you ask me. It shouldn't be a turn on. It should be a turn off. An individuated, healthy man should be turned off by suffering. Other parts in him should be activated, but not arousal. I can't say this one enough. And I think if you're truly listening, you will feel this one too. Number 6, your willingness to cross a boundary that you've previously stated that you wouldn't cross. So this one is a little more subtle. Please hear it out. And this one goes down to inner fortitude. I'll give you an example here. At a certain time, you state that you have a boundary. Let's say you're willing to have sex with somebody if and only if they have all their tests done. For whatever reason, you don't wait enough for that person to get their tests done, and you decide to sleep with them nonetheless. Because this was a moment of passion, of getting carried away, and so on. Though on one side, as a human being, they will understand, because everybody can get carried away, it can happen to them too. It is still a turnoff for them. What does that say on a very subtle plane, subconsciously or just subtly? This woman can't hold, actually, and this is usually, these boundaries are her own boundaries, the ones that she states. She can't do it all the way. They won't blame you for it, they won't judge you for it, but they will also be turned off. So their attraction for you won't be cut off completely, but it will diminish to a lesser or higher degree, depending on how much this man individuated himself. A guy that works on himself he will aspire to a certain degree, not just for a woman that looks hot and I don't know what else she's done and she looks amazing on the outside, but on the inside she has this really, really high quality inner fortitude. Especially the guys that follow, martial arts, they have a dream and they work on it. Man, they will love a woman who has more substance, sustenance to herself, more essence, a higher or heavier caliber. They will love that. This isn't something that is passed on to many women around us, sadly. But somebody who can, inner fortitude. You said something, and not even in a moment of weakness, you're not willing to give that up. It's subtle. They won't break up with you because of that. But still, you have a chance here to either decrease in attraction to them or increase 100-fold. Number 7 is, again, a more subtle one and is applicable especially in the initial stages. Not just then, but especially then. So a woman that loses focus on herself, on her dreams, on her goals, on something that is important to them because she wants to enter a relationship. Again, this is about inner fortitude. And essentially, this is also a message that is given to many women in women's dating communities. They are encouraged when they see a great guy, even though he's not in his best place, they are encouraged not necessarily to shun him, not necessarily to, ignore him completely. They are simply encouraged to not get into a relationship with them just yet. This one is subtle. Please hear me out. I'm not saying throw the guy away. I'm saying don't yet commit to a relationship. Why? Because individuated men, even though they're in a challenge, they are actually motivated by a woman that is in a best place of her life or just on top of her game, whatever her game is. And this one they find out by talking to her. Okay, what is your life about? What do you aspire? What do you dream of? And on top of her game, meaning she's driven and she's working on her dream. No matter where she is, she's working it. She hasn't given up. That kind of a woman inspires a man to jump into his warrior, general, conquer, whatever his archetype, the one that he's working with. This woman is working on her dream. This guy will be inspired and will get back to working on his dream. So when he doesn't have he's not on top of his game, that is not the best time to commit to a relationship. Be there, inspire him, yes. Inspire him as in indirectly, okay, this is what motivates me, this is how I see things. And curious about them, okay, what is your dream? What are you working on? Genuinely, truly, about that. This guy will make shit, we have this saying in Romania, he will cut shit in four, basically, or turn shit into a whip. Basically, just so he's getting himself up, getting himself back together, and working on his dream. Period. That's why keeping focus on yourself as a woman, working on your dreams, following also your passion or pleasure, okay? So being on top of your game, ladies, that's when you're the most magnetic. That's what inspires guys, at least the individuated ones. So don't commit and don't turn into his mommy. Be his muse in those moments. So keep focus or track of yourself, invest in yourself, and also be there for him. Be like a team player or a muse, but one that is involved, okay? Not one that is somewhere up in the clouds and just looks down on him. Not that kind of a muse. And last one, the subtlest one of all, the counterintuitive one of all, but this is, like I said, a heavy caliber discussion. And boy, am I gonna land it on you now. He is turned off by a woman. He doesn't feel he can lose if he messes up. Put in different words, he messes up, but he doesn't feel that he has it coming. I'm talking about big mess ups. I'm not talking about unintentional ones. I'm talking about big blunders, like disrespecting you, doing something behind your back, doing something really nasty. Guys also test women, okay? They will test them to see if they hold their own. Sometimes they do stupid shit. If they feel they can get away after having done that kind of a crap, maybe they will appreciate because you love them and you believe in them. At the same time, they will be less turned on by you. That's why I said this one is really heavy caliber. Sometimes he should have it coming for life. If in the initial stages he did something behind your back, nasty, or if he's in a committed relationship to you, but he's done something super nasty behind your back, sometimes, and I know that most people don't think this way, but sometimes he should have it coming for life. He messed up, you won't look back. You still love him, you still appreciate him, but you won't look back. But I'm talking about really nasty shit. You should have it coming, according to the degree that you've messed up. But if you messed up like beyond pardoning, what could that be? Really mess up your role as a protector. Gamble with the security of the family. Do something that basically puts him off or out of his masculine role, his protective role, especially if you have a family. And maybe he's done that, once, twice already. So I'm talking about heavy stuff. I'm not talking about he looked at somebody, at another woman, he flirted with another, not that. I'm talking about the heavy ones. This one is, again, either make it or break it. So you can lose a bit or gradually, so you feel that he will consistently lessen the way he invests in the interaction, in the relationship, not just intimately, but overall. Or if you really stand your ground, he will respect you a dozenfold. So in this case, ladies, if he feels to the marrow of his backbone that he can stand to lose you if he messes up like big time, he's not gonna. So how does this look like? First of all, you build this up. It's not immediately. You don't jump with him at the first invite. You don't rush into things. I'm not saying play the unapproachable like in a stupid, naive, immature way. I'm saying taking things gradually and slowly. Being a little more pragmatic or strategic. Having a bit of a masculine mindset. Not too much, but just, holding your ground. And whenever he messes up, you let him know, hey, okay, I understand what happened, but I also saw this. Please fix this. I need a man next to me who can be stronger than I am. You gotta hold him up to his standards, aspirations, whatever it is. In a gentle, loving way, but also individuated way. And I'm not talking doing that when there's a crisis around you, when, I'm not talking, when things are rough, you're not going to hold those standards and have those discussions. No. When things are rough, you stay there and you be a partner. When things are relaxed, cool, chill, whatever, that is when you look and you can be a little more, hey, what are we doing here? What is going on here? How do we work this out so that we are both in a high value place? That's how you signal to your guy if he messes up like big time. And you can state the stuff that you won't accept, like your deal breakers. He crosses one deal breaker, you love him, but still you get out of there. That's what I'm talking about. I know this isn't easy to handle. That's why I said heavy caliber stuff. Alright, that's it from me. This one is really intense, really long. But the truth of the matter is, if a guy is individuated, he's going to want somebody like this. If he's not, please refer to what I said in the beginning and just stop right here. So, ladies, gentlemen, if you joined us all the way here, leave me a comment below. Okay, I would love to know what this discussion did for you. And don't feel pressured to tick all of these at the same time. We're not perfect. We have flaws. This is just for, first of all, bringing your awareness to them and aspiring to be more like this, but, not dehumanize yourself, okay? Never my intention to go there. Check out the coaching book also. It might be useful to you. And I'll see you tomorrow with another video. Until then, I wish you a heavy caliber, intimate life.